It looks as though we're going.
Just checking. 1 second. Should have got this ready. Yeah.
Right. Good evening, councillors, and welcome to this evening's meeting. A good New Year to you all, and thank you very much for turning out this evening. I'm going to hand over to our Assistant Executive Officer because, as you will see, we don't have a chairman tonight, so it will be up to the committee to appoint the chairman.
So unfortunately, our chairman of planning and our vice chairman of planning are unable to make it this evening. So I would like a proposer and a seconder for Councillor Moore to take the chairman's seat. Proposer Haddon, seconder Pearce.
And all in favour? Yes. Right.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Right. On that basis, I will just remind us that the meeting is being streamed by YouTube. I need you to all confirm that you've received details of this evening's meeting and you've got all of the information you require to make the decisions, and that's confirmed. Thank you. I won't bother about fire exits because you know about those. I shall move on straight on to the agenda, which is item number 1, which is public participation. Have we had any requests from the public to speak?
We've had no requests this evening.
No requests, thank you. Item 2, apologies of absence.
From Councillors Watkins and Villis.
Thank you. Item number 3, declarations of interest. Does any councillor have any conflicts of interest with any of the items on the agenda that we're considering? No? Thank you. We now move on to item 4, which is minutes, and consider and approve the minutes of the last planning meeting of the 3rd of December. The councillors that were at that meeting were myself, Councillor Watkins, Councillor Haddon, Pearce and Turnbull. So are Councillor Haddon and Pearce, are you willing to propose and second the minutes? Thank you. All those in favour? There's only the 3 of us, so thank you. Any matters arising from the planning committee meeting minutes? Does anybody have any matters arising? No? No matters arising. I now move on to the chairman's report. This is on behalf of the planning committee chairman and me from the chairman of the planning of the council. We've had the resignation from one councillor, Graham Turnbull, who is also a member of the planning committee, and he resigned at the beginning of the new year. And I've thanked Graham for his contributions to as a councillor as well. So there will be space for another committee member, but that can follow at another meeting. We now move on to the item 6, which is the executive officer report.
I have been in contact with the communications agency that is working with Bellway Homes in respect of the Woodfords development on Shipley Road. Bellway Homes have received all the comments submitted to their application and reviewed them and requested a meeting with the parish council. We are liaising as to dates. They will be sometime in January. We're now looking at the 3rd week in January. But once I have dates from them, I will share them with you all, and you can let me know if you're able to attend.
Thank you. And you will have seen the details of that in the information pack. Was that all to report
That's
on that?
all I have to report on.
We now move on to item 7, correspondence. Is there any correspondence?
Yep, I have received one email from a resident of Treetops objecting to the extension of a vehicle crossover that has resulted in the reduction of a grassed area and impacted a mature tree and reduced the availability of on-street parking. This matter was today raised with the enforcement officers as no planning application for the works have been submitted. I have actually heard back from the enforcement officers today. The road is actually a Class D and therefore you don't need a planning application to put a lowered curb in and remove the grass. So that matter's now closed.
Pardon me.
And that's it on
And that's
correspondence.
the end of the correspondence.
Yes.
Right, thank you for that. Item number 8, highways, drainage, street lighting, names and numbers and footpaths.
Yep, I've got quite a bit on this one.
Right,
So I attended the West Sussex County Council Highways flooding presentation in December and have since been in conversations with County Councillor Jupp about how the West Sussex Highways officers deal with the procedures with new developments, particularly when it comes to the waterworks, the flooding, and how we can ensure that we get a better understanding of how they make their decisions. We've agreed that it would be beneficial for one of those highways officers to come along to one of our meetings and explain their procedures to us. I've also asked if there is anyone from Southern Water that can also attend, so I'm waiting to get some information or a contact there that I can get along to one of our meetings. With regard to the 30-mile-an-hour reduction on Worthing Road, we have now had a communication from County Councillor Joy Dennis. Unfortunately, she does have a conflict of interest as she is part of the decision-making committee and she can therefore not provide her support. There are a number of roadworks taking place in Southwater in the coming weeks. The biggest ones of these are the footpath closure along Worthing Road outside the Churchill Living site. That's from the 5th to the 16th of January for resurfacing. There is carriageway surface repair works at the Worthing Road roundabout on 9th of January. The information is limited there, but it does state road closure. So I can't find out exactly where the resurfacing work is taking place. Cripplegate Corner and Cripplegate Lane bus stops are going to have new electronic bus display boards installed between the 14th and 19th January. So there will be some pavement incursions there for people walking. On Bonfire Hill, there are works going on during the 12th to the 14th of January and stop-go boards will be in use. There are street lighting repairs on Shaw's Lane on the 9th of January and there will be multi-way signals in place. There are also a couple of road closures and diversions in the local area, being Picks Lane in Cowfold from the 12th to the 30th of January and Bashurst Hill in Itchingfield from the 13th to the 15th of January. These details will be shared on social media and on our website. That's it.
one item that if you could also find out from West Sussex as to what's happening. We were told that they were going to be replacing the footpath along Cripplegate Lane from the junction of Millfield down to the country park, and that would commence on the 6th of January. All of the boards were put up advising motorists that it was going to happen. They've now been taken down and no work has started. So if we could find out what's going on there. What was peculiar was prior to the new year, they replaced both sides of the footpath in Millfield, which weren't really that bad at all. And I just hope they didn't confuse themselves and replace the wrong footpath. anyway, if we could establish what's happening there,
course.
I would appreciate that. Councillor Everard.
Sorry, just quickly going back to the speeding and the 30 mile an hour on the Worthing Road. I know that we discussed it earlier, and I did speak to Nigel at one of the other meetings about separating the north and the south to try and help at least get half of it done and not
Yes.
the other half. So have we started that, or was that?
The information has been passed to the Senior Operations Officer, but because the other application has already been submitted, we have to go down that route. If
What-
she can find out more information, because we've already submitted the other application, instead of separating out the TPOs.
Right, I think we need clarification on
So
that
we will
because-
find out.
Yes, as to what exactly is happening now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you
Because-
submit one, you can't then retract it and start again?
Well, no, because we've now got support of various councillors and the application has gone through.
Yeah.
But I will ask to see if there's a way that whilst this is still going through, maybe we can just put one of the TPOs through.
Yeah. Because the north section is much less, much less.
Yeah.
Right, okay. Does anybody else have anything else to, under item 8? No, on that basis, we'll move to item number 9, neighbourhood plan.
Yep, I can give an update on that. We have an initial programme of works meeting taking place this Friday, being led by the officers. At that meeting, we will produce a schedule of consultation meetings to take place and put those in the diaries. Councillor Turnwell was a member of that committee. As he has resigned, he is no longer a member. But we have had interest from a resident, being Gordon Sullivan, who is a member of the Save Rural South Water group, who's expressed an interest in joining. That's all I have on that.
Right, thank you for that. We'll now move on to item number 10, which is new planning applications for consideration.
Right, DC 252060, Milepost Meadows on Bonfire Hill, variation of condition 1. We've submitted no objection to this. There is a mention of cladding colour, which has changed from shiplap to tongue and groove. It is requested that confirmation is sought to ensure the colour is either natural or fits in line with the countryside development. Highways are minded to determine that the access is acceptable from the busy road, as the submitted change provides insufficient information to determine suitability. And this comment was provided by Councillor Villis.
Right.
I would need a proposal in a second for that.
Right. So the Councillor Villis's proposal is that it be no objection.
Subject to this confirmation.
Subject to what has been read out. Can I have somebody second that proposal, please? Councillor Stannard. All those in favour? Yes, unanimous.
Second one is Councillor Stannard, DC 252044, 1 Bourne Hill, replacement of existing sunroof and erection of single-storey rear extension.
This appears to be a building over an existing footprint. It's not visible from the road. I can see no reason to object because it's not going to change anything. Any objection would have to be would be a neighbour objection, but not something that we would get involved in directly. So I don't have any objections to this going through.
Right. So your proposal is that there's no objection. And can I have a seconder for that, please? Councillor Pearce. All in favour? Yes, that's unanimous. Thank you for that. We now move on to item number 11, which is new planning applications for consideration with a deadline prior to the meeting.
DC 251689, 13 Beechwood. This is the surgery to 3 oak trees. We have submitted no objection, with the reduction should be limited to 30%.
as these have got a deadline prior to the meeting, do we need to approve these or not?
I don't think
I
so,
don't think
no.
we do we?
Second one, DC 252002, the Cops Worthing Road. Prior notification for the demolition of derelict house known as the Cops. As this was a prior notification, we were not required to provide a comment. DC 251890, Wendover Worthing Road, demolition of rear conservatory, erection of a single-storey rear extension. Councillor Everard, would you like to share your comment?
Yeah, I've spoken to them and to the neighbours at the site, and actually what they're going to do is going to be more in keeping with the building itself than what is actually there, because it's a 100-year-old building that's got a white PVC conservatory on it, and they're going to take that down and put up a in-keeping brick-built pitched roof on it. So it's going to look better than it is now. So absolutely no objections to it whatsoever.
Yes, your view is that it will look far better than the existing
Correct.
one. Right,
Yeah.
okay. So your proposal is no objection.
No objection.
Can I have a seconder, please?
Once I found it on the Worthing Road.
Right. Okay, are we all in favour? Yes, thank you.
DC 251900, this was a retrospective application from the Hen and Chicken, the installation of new ducting. This was with Councillor Watkins, and I was not provided with a comment.
Right.
But the date has
it's-
passed,
It's passed, so,
That's not very good. Is that for the fans?
The final one was DC 251975, Rascals Farm, Shipley Road. It was a non-material amendment to a previously approved application. Again, this was with Councillor Watkins. Because it was a non-material amendment, we didn't have to pass comment, and we haven't.
right. Thanks for that. We'll now move on to item 12, which is planning appeals. Is there any?
We have notification of one planning appeal, and that's DC 240204, land off Jackal's Lane for the relocation of Holbrook Animal Rescue. The application has been refused. That's the only one.
Thank you for that. We now move on to item 13, which is district council decisions, information only. Are there any?
If any, I mean, obviously I sent through an updated decision table
Yes.
this week. There was quite a few more applications on there, whether anyone had any comments on any of them that they wanted to share.
Were there any comments on that? No? Right, okay, we'll move on for item number 14, planning compliance.
Yes, I have a couple on here. So the latest one is EN 250425, which is Beckley Stud on Reeds Lane, for the erection of a steel farm frame barn without planning permission, which is currently pending consideration. This, however, relates to enforcement EN 230124, also for Beckley Stud, for the use of storage containers. This enforcement notice has been upheld, and the owners have been given 12 months from PINS since their decision on the 7th of May 2025, so they've sat on this quite a while, to rectify the position, as in remove them. This has now resulted in a retrospective application, which was received today, in relation to EN 250425, so the latest enforcement notice, which again relates to DC 252133. Too many mentions. So DC 252133 is the erection of a steel frame barn on the sanded, pre-prepared area. So that, as it has come through today, has been sent through to Councillor Watkins to review, and I will defer it to him.
Okay. Right, thank you for that. Is that the end of planning compliance issues?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Right, we now move on to our last item, which is date of next meeting, which is the 4th of February. So again, I thank you all very much for turning out on this cold evening, and I now declare this meeting closed at 18:20. Thank you.